color says something before we even speak. It's a direct response to people trying to meet women. And I just love it when women are loud about who they are. It doesn't have to be in such a jarring way. It could just be in a simple way. And again, it just shows presence.
Yes. Welcome to In Her Space podcast, a safe space for raw and real conversations with women who have walked in those shoes. Unfiltered experiences makes it her space. Hosted by yours truly, Ivy Ekong. Welcome back to In Her Space podcast, the podcast where we explore how women carve out bold, intentional lives. I'm your host, Ivy Ekong. This episode is sponsored by Ivy Ekong Fashion. Ivy Ekong Fashion is an affordable premium fashion brand for the multifaceted woman living in a fast-paced, multidimensional life, balancing work, motherhood, friendship, and partnership, which is now the norm for most women. Most of my outfits worn on this podcast on all the episodes, if you've been following us, can be found on our website, ivyekongfashion.com. Remember to use code IHS podcast for 10% off your order. I am thrilled to welcome someone who is reimagining what it means to live beautifully and unapologetically. Nnoro Dan is a London and Dubai-based architect and interior designer whose fearless fashion and unapologetic maximalism have taken over TikTok and Instagram. Her philosophy: romance your life with great design. From curated soap dishes to statement shoes, she's here to show us how beauty can and should exist in the everyday life. Today, we'll talk about color as power, the courage to relocate across continents, and how she's designing not just spaces, but her own path. Welcome, Nnoro. How are you?
Good, thank you. Thank you for having me. How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Are you excited to be here?
I am actually really excited to be here.
Yay!
I've been looking forward to it, actually. Yeah.
The first question we ask, I'm sure you've known by now, is what does having your space mean to you? So this is your space, like the podcast is called In Her Space. What does having your own space mean to you?
I guess an opportunity to share insight into my world and to hopefully learn something from this conversation, and obviously hopefully someone can learn from my experiences.
Yes, yeah.
And to just impact women, I guess, in some way. And that's what it means to me.
That's really good. Welcome. Yes, let's get into it. Your beautiful mantra. When I was reading your bio, I saw your mantra and I was like, oh, wow, that's really good. And your mantra is romance your life. What does that mean to you? And how did that philosophy, how has it sort of evolved?
Actually, it's like more so romancing your life with design, specifically design. And I think it comes because I kind of see and appreciate the small things in everything. So I always encourage people around me to find, I guess, design in the mundane. So I don't believe that design is reserved for grand gestures. I think you can find it in small things. So just how your clothes are made, down to the way that your rug is woven, or the way you fold your sheets and how you do your hair. Like these are small things that are design, and they make you feel good if you appreciate these small things. So if that's romancing your life with design. So
okay, that's good. So what were you rebelling against when you chose to embrace maximalism?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Thing is, a lot of people think I'm a maximalist, and I'm actually not. I don't think I have like a box to be put into.
Really?
I'm just not a minimalist.
Okay.
And I think that comes from me feeling as though people don't actually understand what it means to be a maximalist or a minimalist.
Yeah.
And I try to kind of teach that you don't have to be one or the other. You can appreciate why one is the way it is and why the other is the way it is, and try to find a happy medium.
Yeah.
I think I'm rebelling against following just social norms, and people don't actually know what they like in design. So they think that they're a minimalist, but it's like, you're not. You're actually more of a maximalist by the way you behave, but you don't know that. And it's not your fault that you don't know that.
Yeah.
So it gives you an opportunity to teach what it means to be either or, and then people can decide for themselves what they are.
Okay.
Or not.
Okay. So have you always been this way?
Yeah.
Always?
I really have always been this way. That's a really good question. I think I've always been this way. Yeah, okay. I don't know a time where I wasn't.
Was
like
there
this.
any moment that sort of shifted you this way? Like any life, did anything happen, or is just this has just been you?
I think this has always been me.
Okay, that's
weirdly enough, I was born in Gambia. I'm fully Nigerian, but I was born in Gambia, and I lived in Nigeria for a year in my life at one point when I was a child. Could have been like 5. And I just happened to remember the architecture of my house. I still remember the architecture of my house in Gambia. And when I moved to the UK when I was 7, buildings were the thing that I thought about, spaces were the thing that I thought about. So I think I've always just had that design eye.
Yeah.
So I've always been this way.
That's good. I love your designs, by the way.
Thank you.
For anyone listening who is stuck in the gray and the beige sort of colors, what's one small thing that they could do today to bring some romance into their space?
That is such a good question. I think that what colors make you happy? What makes you feel joy? I think often we box design to being just function, but joy is also a function. So think of the colors that make you feel joy. Think of the shapes that make you feel joy, and just throw them in because they make you feel joy, and that's it. There doesn't have to be any other reason. So if you could find a small piece of something that makes you happy and you bring it into your space, that's enough.
Okay. That's enough. Well, you've heard her. That's enough. Just find something that makes you feel joy.
Yeah.
Okay. So your work boldly rejects the idea that beauty has to be neutral, quiet, and minimal.
Yeah. Why
do you think color and maximalism resonate so strongly right now, especially with women?
Oh, that is such a relevant question. And I think that color says something before we even speak. Color has feeling. Color has, it has.
Yes, I think it
feels. It's real. It's like an alive thing.
Yeah.
And I think that it's a direct response to people trying to meet women. And I just love it when women are loud about who they are.
Yeah.
And it doesn't have to be in such a jarring way. It could just be in a simple way. And again, it just shows presence.
Yes.
And that's empowering in itself.
Yeah.
And I think people embracing personality right now is so important. We are in a loop of like inauthenticity. That's the word.
Yes, absolutely.
So I think being able to be authentic and share that through color and bold choice, I think is such an important thing for women.
Yes.
So I will always push that.
Okay, that's really good. And that brings me right to my next question. As if you knew. Do you think women are taught to shrink themselves and their personality? And even when it comes to aesthetics as well, do you think that's...
I definitely think so. But I think that's changing. I think a lot more women are doing things that they want to do.
Yeah.
And I want to see it more.
Me too.
Yeah, I think women are taught to shrink themselves, but I think we are now coming into an era where that's no longer a thing.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think it's changing, but it might take some time.
Yes, it might take some time. What role does culture influence being between London and Dubai play in your style?
Again, I don't know if I have a style. And I think people always ask me, how do you find your design style? I don't know if I have a style.
Because most designers, do have like a certain sort of aesthetic that they go for. And with you, I think you're very like, I've seen your outfits and stuff, and it's it's unique, and very creative, which is no surprise because you're a very creative person as well. So,
I think culture does play a massive impact on the way I design.
mm-hmm.
I wouldn't say my style because I always try and keep my client as the core purpose of what I'm doing, what their brief is.
Yes.
But I do think like culture plays a massive role. Like in the UK, we're kind of in the era of not having living rooms. Everything's becoming smaller. Everyone's living in high rises, and the built environment's changing slightly. Whereas in Dubai, there's still so much land. Hosting's a massive culture. So you see a lot of people that have informal and formal dinings, formal and informal living spaces.
Yeah.
So the way that design works there is a little bit different. It invites guests, whereas the UK is very much like self-contained apartment. And I think it's a different era, I think, in both spaces. But again, I think Dubai is quite minimal in the way that it is, but that's changing again.
Really? Yeah.
I think they're trying to embrace more color and texture.
Yeah.
But again, it's 75% expats. So people that are coming from different walks of life are coming to settle in Dubai. So naturally, they're bringing home with them.
Yes.
And that's what I'm seeing a lot more of. So I guess, culture does play a massive part in design. And you could bring a bit of Tokyo with you to your British apartment.
Yes.
If that's what you feel inclined. So I do think where you live and where you come from and what you resonate with will definitely impact the way you have your space.
Absolutely. I think like us, like my home, it's like a little bit of Paris. It's very,
I love that.
Parisian.
I love Paris.
Yeah. So we have like sort of a different mood board in different rooms. So it feels like you're somewhere.
That's so interesting.
New, which is like lovely. I love that. Okay. So let's talk about maximalism and mental health. Some say it's too much, but could it be actually nourishing?
I think, again, just because you like color and texture doesn't make you a maximalist. I think people need to move away from labeling. I think when you now say you're a maximalist, you have to kind of prove that you're a maximalist. No, you might just appreciate texture in this space or color in this space. It doesn't make you a maximalist. But I do think that being free enough to have personality in a space is really important for your mental health. And also it's all subjective. Someone could be really into swords and they must love the craftsmanship that goes into creating swords and want to display them on their wall. Someone else can come in and be like, why is there so much clutter on your wall? And actually the person that has a sword is freer because they're free enough to express themselves in the way they want to in their space, but someone else can't appreciate that. And so it's all subjective. Design is subjective. I don't think we should shrink ourselves into like maximalist, minimalist, and that's actually how we will impact our mental health in a better way because
I agree.
You feel less
pressured too.
Exactly.
Yeah, I agree. You made a bold move, relocating from the UK to the Middle East. That kind of a leap can feel terrifying for a lot of people. What pushed you to go for it?
I've always wanted to live in multiple different countries, and Dubai was just one of the countries on my list. So when the opportunity presented itself, I was like, why not? But I think what's happening in the Middle East is really interesting design-wise because it's still so new. The UK is thousands of years old. So the way that we do things is we have our way, we're stuck in our ways. It's not a bad thing. It's worked in the built environment anyway. But Dubai is so new. And what's amazing about it is that they are learning from everyone. So you can find a bit of Paris in Dubai. You can find a bit of Japan in Dubai. You'll find places that are inspired by other places. And they are learning from other people's mistakes and building it in a new way. And so I think that's pretty amazing to see a product of everyone's experience in design in one space. And there is something to learn from that. I think I've been able to bring a wealth of like knowledge on design from the West. and I'm learning so much while I'm there. And I think I always try to challenge myself in design. It'd be boring if I just knew everything,
Yes, yes.
So
You keep
challenging
learning.
myself is actually really interesting to me. So I wasn't really scared. It was kind of like, let's just see what happens.
What happens, yeah.
And I'm learning so much.
That's good. So
so
you're a risk taker, right?
Yes. I think so.
I think you have to be able to make, I mean, it's life. Yeah. So what were there any fears you had to confront before moving?
I think it was just like having to create a new village. My village of people like mean a lot to me. So having to leave my comfort and having to create that again was kind of like, this is crazy. But then again, I just thought I can always meet new people and there's nothing wrong with it. And I have met some incredible people that are now becoming a part of my new village. Your new village. And that's not a bad thing. It's a great thing, actually.
It's good. It's always good to have a village wherever you find yourself, you know, always good. How has your personal and professional identity shifted since relocating?
Ooh, I haven't actually thought about that. It's nice to be a student of design again.
Okay.
And it's almost made me childlike again, which is really nice.
Yes.
Really and nice. I'm exploring, you know, like it feels good to be exploring now.
Yes, yes.
And that feels both personal and professional. So I think I feel more like a sponge again, and I'm really enjoying that.
That's good. That's really good. That's good. What's one cultural or creative surprise you've loved since being in Dubai?
Oh.
Dubai is full of surprises.
It really is.
Yeah.
What's a surprise? Creative surprise? Wow, that's a really, really good question.
I always think the lavishness, like really.
But also surprisingly, the non-lavish things are the things that I'm enjoying the most. Like I love Old Dubai.
Yes. Okay.
And anything that hints to Old Dubai, I really love.
Okay.
So if I go past like old apartments, actually someone reached out to me recently to work on a project, and it was a villa that was built in 1988, 10 years before I was born in Dubai. And all the plans were done by hand.
Wow.
Crazy, right?
Are you serious?
And I'm reading these plans and I'm looking at these plans and I'm like, this is so insane. And I think seeing the growth of Dubai is the thing that's shocking me the most. And also sometimes I forget it's desert.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'll be driving somewhere or like my journey to work in the morning to the office. There's camels in the middle of the desert. Wow. And I think that shocks me because next door is this incredible building, but like it's desert.
Yes. It
is. I think old Dubai versus new Dubai and seeing the changes is the thing that's fascinating to me because that's how quickly things can change. In 50 years, so much ground has been covered.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, that's really good. For listeners who are scared to start over or follow a dream of theirs, what advice would you give to them?
You can't even afford to be scared. You just have to
dive in.
Yeah. And also like fear is kind of a mirage. It's not real, you know, like, and honestly, like what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah.
You know? For me though, it's slightly different. I think I've always known I wanted to do this so young and I haven't swayed from it. But I've let myself try again in different ways over and over again. And like I said, like it feels good to be a student again. It feels good to be exploring again. And I'm not scared of that. I think that's making me a stronger designer. Okay. So the amount of times that I've started again has actually impacted me positively. So the more you let yourself try, the more you grow.
Yes. And the more you succeed.
Exactly. Yeah. And I think you find success in pockets through that journey.
Absolutely.
So
just
do it.
Just do it. Do it. Okay. You're not just designing homes. You're designing a personal brand and a lifestyle philosophy. in quote. Did you always plan to become this kind of creative entrepreneur?
I don't know what I planned. I didn't plan. Okay.
You didn't have a plan.
I don't know. I didn't have a plan. I mean, I always wanted to be a designer. I always wanted to be an architectural designer.
Yeah.
Everything else has just happened. And I think now more than ever, it's a positive to have that.
Yeah.
But I think it's naturally happened, which I think is great as well.
Okay.
I think the first time I picked up a camera I was 16 or 17.
Wow.
And I talked about going into study architecture in my undergrad, and that was kind of at the beginning of people emailing me and asking me questions. And that's kind of grown, and people have grown with me.
Yeah.
And that was like over 17 years ago.
Wow.
Actually, maybe I'm making that up. I'm 28 now.
Yeah.
You know, and I was talking about this when I was 16. So people have been with me through the journey, and I think that's what's allowed for me to have this platform. And it's just happened naturally. I didn't plan it.
Yeah, you didn't plan.
But that's also what's been great.
Yeah. So basically you knew what you wanted. You didn't plan, but you just knew what you wanted and you sort of went with that.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Anyone listening now, you can hear, just know what you want. And I think sometimes it's like the law of attraction, right? When you know what you want, the universe sort of takes you there, you know, and you don't need to have everything planned out or reaching out.
No.
Yeah. So what keeps you grounded in a digital world that's always challenging?
I'm not a consumer, which is people that don't know me don't know that. My friends know that. I'm not a consumer. I love my real life.
Yeah.
I love real life. And this goes back to like the first mantra we talked about, like romancing your life with design.
Yes.
I genuinely, actively love life.
Mm-hmm.
So I try to be in real life and try to be in the now. So online for me is an extension of that and not the other way around. And just my faith, my village, and just my hunger to be present are the things that keep me grounded. It's very easy for me to just decide to just not be on my phone the whole day and read. I think that's just become a part of my life.
Yeah, that's good.
And I think naturally I'm not a consumer, which is easy. But I have friends who definitely struggle with social media. They're like, I'm coming on social media. And like, I just don't have that because I love my real life.
You love your real life. So, that's beautiful. That's not everyone can say that.
I really
especially now that everyone is like, is as if you haven't showed it on social media, you haven't lived it. Yes, exactly. So that's really, that's a breath of fresh air, honestly, just hearing you say that, and very, very inspiring as well. You work with a lot of beauty and fashion labels, brands. How do you decide what aligns with your values and what doesn't?
That's a good question. Again, it's just my obsession with design. I think if I don't feel anything, I probably won't work with the brand.
Yes.
And I'm okay saying no, you know? And I don't really have anything to prove, or like I don't have that pressure to be like working with every single brand. So usually it's genuinely something I like or something I genuinely use.
Okay.
Or something that I just really think is great.
Yeah.
You know? And there is no in between.
Okay.
So that's kind of how I've navigated it.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah.
So we're good. We're almost rounding up now. So I'm just going to ask you, like, we'll call them fire questions. Like, you just go. Yeah. Are you ready? What's the one item in your home you'll never get rid of?
My Bible.
Your Bible.
Yeah.
Oh, I love that.
My Bible. Sorry, that has to be.
Yes. Yeah.
I might even get like bigger Bible books printed just as decor.
Yeah.
My Bible.
That's good. So you're very religious.
I would say so.
Okay.
Yeah.
And it shows why you're so grounded as well.
Okay. Well, God is good.
God is good all the time.
All the time.
Okay, what color best describes your personality right now?
Cobalt blue.
Cobalt blue.
Yeah.
Why?
It just works with everything.
Okay.
You know, my favorite color is actually purple.
Really?
But cobalt blue right now, I think, is me.
Okay.
I see cobalt blue as a neutral.
Yes, it is a neutral.
It's like black and white.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
nice.
yeah,
okay.
Blue.
Morning ritual that sets the tone for your day.
Reading my Bible.
Reading your Bible.
Praying. Yeah.
Praying.
Just,
okay.
Yeah.
A book, podcast, or person who inspires your creative journey.
Wow. Right now I'm actually reading a book called I think it's called The Courage to be Disliked.
Okay.
And I'm really being like challenged by it because it's a conversation between a philosopher and a young person.
Mm-hmm.
And it just allows you to like really think about your why and when you're doing things and like perspective on life. And so, that's the book that's really inspiring me right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. One word to describe how you want women to feel in their own spaces.
Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I love that. What's the one thing every woman should have in their home that creates peace and serenity? Every woman. So think about that properly. Should have in their home that creates peace and serenity.
Wow. Every woman.
Yes. Should I give it? Well, me, I would say flowers, maybe.
The flowers is great, but I was actually going to say a music outlet. So like speakers. I have a vinyl player, like just music. Mm-hmm. You know, even if the room is empty, music will always bring life.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think music. I don't know. That's just what I would say.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. One last question. If you were to ask, if I was to ask you to design a space for me right now, what are the two things that must be in that space?
Lighting is super important. So how the light will be.
Yeah.
And lighting and a feature of some sort. So maybe a feature wall.
Okay.
A feature item.
Do you mean like a painting or?
It could be anything, but it needs to be like one feature that grounds the space.
Yes. That brings it to everything to life. Okay. All right. That's the end of our questions.
That was actually really good.
It was really good. We could go on and on and on, honestly.
I know. I actually have a question for you.
You have a question for me? Okay, let me end yours first and then we'll come to me. Okay, Nnoro, thank you so much for sharing your story, your color, and your courage with us today. Where can listeners find you and get inspired?
You can find me across all platforms, I guess.
Okay.
On Nnoro in Design, across everything. Just Nnoro in Design.
Yeah. We're going to put Nnoro's details on the screen in case you want to find her. Thank you, everyone, for tuning into In Her Space podcast today. If today's episode inspired you to break up the beige or take a bold leap of your own, share this with a friend and leave us a comment. You can find us on all social media platforms at In Her Space Podcast. On YouTube is In Her Space Pod. There's no podcast. Once again, I would like to thank the sponsor of this episode, Ivy Ekong Fashion. You can find us on ivyekongfashion.com. If you'd like to sponsor an episode, please get in touch with us. There'll be details on the screen for you to contact. Until next time, keep making space for who you truly are. And remember, it's your space.
Love that.
Let's clap for Nnoro.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Okay, you have a question for me.
Yeah.
All right, what's the question? Nobody has ever asked me any question.
Really?
Yes, the last person I interviewed said we need to ask you some questions so that we get to know you more. I was like, okay, I don't know who's going to do that. Yeah. So you go on.
I just wanted to know your why. Like, why did you create this platform?
Okay.
And what it means to you.
Yes. Okay. The why I created this platform is first of all, I've been thinking of doing this for so long. We had a name I wanted before, but I was like, I just woke up one day and I said, sometimes we need, do you know when if you meet someone for the first time, right? And you just sort of tell them everything about you. Yeah. Like you confide in them because you know you never see them again. Yeah. Right? Even sometimes people that you've known don't even know those things that you've just told a stranger. So that just came into my mind. And I said, we all as ladies, there are times that we just want to sit down and talk. And sometimes we sit down with strangers and we just vent and we just talk. And I felt we needed that space and that platform as women just to sort of talk about everything really, from what we've just talked about now, designing, to some of the challenges we face as women as well in healthcare, at our workplaces, just existing.
I get it.
Yes. So that's literally how this sort of came about. And I wanted this to be a platform that is different from something that is out there, where it's a lot of gossip, podcast. And for me, it's not really about the hits and the viral moment, whatever. No, for me, it's about when you live here, how you feel after living here. The last time someone said, do you have, are you a qualified therapist? Because I feel I just told you everything. I said, no, I'm not. I don't even this is not a therapy, whatever. But when you're in this space, there's just something that makes you just want to share and share more.
Agreed.
Yeah. So that's literally.
I love it. Oh. And, I think it's really important. So well done for creating this.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you for coming. So lovely to have you.